In this life, the only thing that you have and you have control over is your choices, your free will. I mean, you don't even have that. That's given to you. But let's just start at the basic soul of everything. Take away your physical matters. Take away your clothing, your housing, your food, your water. What do you have? You have your thoughts, your experiences, your memories. You have your free will. So let this sink in. What are you investing into yourself and into your life? What are you putting your energy into? What are you spending your time focusing on, thinking about, working on, improving on, yada, yada, yada? Go ahead, hit pause, take some time, write it out, figure it out. Listen, I've been sitting here all day, just kind of thinking about these things, so I understand. So go ahead, hit pause if you need to, and if not, let's kind of jump into how our freedom and free will, we can really easily be deceived in them. And although we have them, we have to be careful about how we use it because we can so easily get caught up in thinking something is for us or that we could benefit from it when it inevitably is going to drown us or try to. So don't get caught up in investing into something that you idolize because you're just going to be stressed out making sure that everything is because you idolize that thing, you're going to do anything for it. The only thing you should be idolizing is God. And if it's anything else, don't put your energy into it. Flee from it. But if you love something and you want to do it, go ahead and do that thing. Just be okay with whatever outcome God has for it. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. I've mentioned this on every episode, and I have so many more stories to share, but this first one that comes to mind, we heard it. We heard the story about the time I broke my neck. The time I broke my neck, cheerleading in college. Further down the line, the part of the story I didn't share so much information on is after I broke my neck, I started having out of body experiences and I took some time away from cheerleading or the team in general. I came back to cheer and I got all my skills back. I came back to the team. And then we got a new coach. And that new coach called me one evening, checking in on me, and I told her about my PTSD and that I still wasn't ready to stunt. I had literally broken my neck 6 months prior to this phone call. And she says, well, I don't want you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. If you're not allowed to stunt, we have 3 extra people on the team, like, that are not in, like, you could just be one of those people. Like, you don't have to stunt right now. We won't put you in a group. Cool. Get to summer camp. And she tells me that I have to decide whether or not I can. She goes, if you can't stunt, you can't be on the team anymore. And I'm like, that's the opposite of what you told me about a week ago. But okay. And so, against my comfort and my will, I said, okay, well, I'm in Pennsylvania with you guys. Whatever. So we stunted. And I almost died a few times. And she kept putting me in groups with people who she might have thought I would pair well with, which before the injury I probably would have. She didn't even know me before the injury. And also, these people were far taller than I was. So I almost felt kind of set up for failure. She had good intent. She saw the best in me. But what she wanted out of me wasn't the path I was going to go down. So anyway, after camp, I'm freaked the F out. But I still keep pushing. And eventually, my PTSD starts to get worse. Each practice, I'm physically further away from the group as a whole. But when I tell you, now looking back on it and having people tell me that, I understand. I was slowly distancing myself. But let me tell you, in the moment, I felt so close. I felt like I was right on top of everyone else's stunt when I was literally off the mat eating chips. So, needless to say, I went to them one day, and before I could get the words out, they knew that I couldn't keep cheering, and I dropped down to being a manager and made the best of it. But in my time dealing with all of this physical pain, this distress, I mean, let me tell you, I couldn't be sitting up or doing anything for more than maybe 4 hours because my neck would be burning so bad. And not to even mention the nightmares and just the soreness in general, like all throughout my body all the time. And that's just a whole nother illness topic. But in my distress, I reached out to take care of myself in alternative ways, in which some assumptions were made about me. And one practice, an assumption led to a further conversation, which led to myself no longer returning to the team. And kept everything I bought, which I'm saying, because if she ever sees this, I wasn't going to give the finger, but after I decided not to, I decided I really wanted to. So just know that. And I also wrote in my journal, which was a journal that she had given, each athlete had their own journal to, after practice, write their notes and feelings in. And at the end of the week, we'd hand in our journals so they could just read our feelings. Because some of us were a head case. I wish I was kidding you. So at this point in time in the story, it's about, I think it's like October of 2019, which my injury was January 2019. So we are now at the point where I have broken my neck, gotten back on the team, PTSD got bad, stopped doing things, tried to start healing, then got taken off the team. And that winter, that team went to nationals again for the second time ever the year before. I literally had broken my neck, I think the week before nationals and couldn't go, obviously. So the year after my injury, when they had gone to nationals the second time with the new coach, this coach was well versed in the cheerleading community and knew she knew how to compete in that league. You know what I'm saying? So they won. And they all got their rings. And I'm so fucking proud of them, dude, because that's hard to do. They work hard. I mean, I watch those girls. They work hard. I'm proud of you guys. I'm pissed that I don't have a ring. But damn, I'm proud of you guys. I miss you, man. That's the thing. If anyone out there, if anyone out there, because it's not just anyone out there, if any of my old teammates ever listened to one of my podcast episodes, specifically this, because you're okay, this is me dancing. I have anxiety. If you went through this with me, you would understand. And I just want to tell you that I missed you so much. It was really hard walking away from something that I felt so connected in. Like it felt like my safe space. It was really all I knew. Look, I don't even want to go to URI. I just did not want to go to URI one bit. But when I made the team, that's when I was like, okay. So and that's on not getting caught up on something that I used to idolize because you'll be stressed. But if you love something, go ahead, do it. Be okay with the outcome that God has for it. It's hard for me to process everything and think about it as my reality. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a literal Wizard of Oz dream. But through that turn of events, God has opened up so many doors and taught me so many things that I could not have possibly experienced or understood had I not had the injury. So God is good, friends. He won't leave us nor forsake us. He gives us our freedom and free will because he loves us. Amen. So, yeah, I idolized cheer for a while. It became my identity. Before that was soccer. But I hated soccer because I had to run around. I hated running. And except unless I was sprinting. I hated like running. Like sprinting is, you know what I mean? Anyway. And we had to be outside in the cold. And cheerleading was just fun. Like you could just smile and like hop around, like pom pom, like it's so fun. And I love tumbling. But God had other plans for me. That moment was the most perfect moment in the world for me to learn so much. And even in that moment, he let me use my free will to humble me, which is just a rabbit hole for another time. Let's get back on track. Let's make this podcast about the journey. That's a little bit of my story, and that's something heavy I carry with me. But it shouldn't be heavy, and I shouldn't be carrying it with me. I shouldn't be burdened by the past. I should be looking forward to the future. I want you to look forward to the future. Scripture tells us to look forward to the future. So we're going to make a goal for ourselves this week. The point of the goal is to nurture our soul. We're going to invest ourselves in one area, in one way, to nurture our souls. I want you to make a goal. Go ahead. Hit pause if you need. A couple things for you to think about, though. Maybe it's something that's part of like a bigger goal, like part of a larger plan that you're working on. Maybe it's a really investing yourself in one step of a fountain that's going to build a foundation, whatever it could be, that final step. Maybe it's something completely new or a major life change. Maybe it's a little scary. Maybe it's the unseen that you just don't know. It's the unknown. It's the unknown that you don't, you know what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Gosh, how do you deal with this? No, but for real. Make a goal. What should my goal be for this week? I have so many, because I got so many problems. Like, my eating has gotten a lot better. I'll be real about that. And lately I haven't been able to go out and go like hiking or anything because, oh my gosh, can I tell you about the sunburn that I got? Bro, it's so bad. Last Thursday, I wanted to go to the beach so bad last week, and Thursday was just today. So, oh my God, backstory. I have ADHD. I haven't mentioned that. You can't tell. I have ADHD. And so last Thursday, I go to the beach and I'm only there for like 3.5, 4 hours max. And like an hour of that, I'm in my car, like cooling down. So, and the spirit convicts you, man. I haven't been to the beach in I think like 3 years, and I wore a two-piece and I had a cover up over it. And I could not take that cover up off because the conviction was so real. I was like, I cannot expose my body. It's the craziest thing, even though I'm like, it's a swimsuit, but it's like, it's a swimsuit. I'm not gonna go take my shirt off, like, you know what I mean? So last week, how are we on this? I don't know. Anyway, last week, I went to the beach and I sat out. It was so lovely, dude. It was so lovely, dude. I I did some watercolor painting, yeah, watercolor painting. And I brought my little setup, but I took water from the ocean. So I had the sea salt water. And I scooped up the little hole in the ground, I put the cup in, mounted it with the sand. And then I just sat there, I think probably for an hour. I painted. I made a whole painting. And some people walked up and it was really cute because they were like, we were chatting for a little bit and like they were just so excited to see what it was. And we were chatting about the colors that I picked and, why they're interested in the art. And it was such a lovely moment. And they had cute puppies and, yeah. And then I was reading the Bible for a little bit. And then I also, what else did I do? I don't remember. Maybe I journaled. I did something. So I sat in one spot for like 2 hours, and then I started to get a little like fancy. So I packed up, and by the way, I wasn't like laying, like I was like sitting up, like I was, I packed up all my stuff, went out to my car, sat in my car, cooled down for a little bit, went to inside a building to see, like, they have animal exhibits and you learn about things. So I went inside to learn about the animal for a good, I think, half an hour, 45 minutes. back of my car, drive to the other side of the beach, sit down for a little bit, and then kind of walk around, scope out the area, and then finally sit down. And I only am out on the beach again for like another 30 minutes, laying on my stomach. And before I tell you the results, let me again remind you, I have not been to the beach in, what is it, 2 or 3 years. I have not gotten a sunburn since, I want to say it's been like since 2017, 2018. Yeah. I used to be good about wearing sunblock, plus I'd be in the sun a lot, and I would go into tanning beds and stuff like that. So I always had some kind of base on, but with it not being that long, and since getting sick about a year ago, one of the biggest things about my sickness is that I don't even like how that sounds, but you know what I mean. Um, my biggest problem, I have a lot of problems. ADHD, squirrel. Hi, I'm Courtney. I get inflamed so easily that my entire body puffs up and just stops working. Like it does not work, and I'm in so much pain, and it's like my entire body and everything you can imagine is going wrong. And then after the inflammation goes down, my hair all falls out again. It's great. It looks like I gained 15 pounds during that time, but I'm just puffed up. So anyway, I get crazy sunburn. I mean, I am fried. Like I look like, I don't even know how to describe it. Um, I don't even feel sunburnt leaving the beach. I get home, I cannot bend my legs. I can't bend my legs. My shoulders are kind of fine. It's just like the skin is just like dry, and um it really wasn't that bad on my shoulders, the back of my neck, yeah. Because, my hair is now bald. But my legs, dude, I couldn't bend my legs. I barely still can. I mean, they only feel okay now because I just put lotion on and I have the leggings on. But I that next day when I tried to stand up, it felt like my legs were broken. Like I literally felt like my legs were broken. My ankles were swollen, like worse than cankles. Like they were, my legs were so swollen. And even now, like the sunburn has gone away, but my shin, yeah, were, were so bad. And I don't know why. Like I've never experienced this before. So I'm wondering if anyone else has, because never once have I experienced this. And it's rather bizarre. But the fact that it's the worst thing on my legs, I also want to point out, I'm sick. I got sick with my nervous system shut down, but I also have long COVID. But I also have been getting sick for about 4 or 5 years now, which is about how long about how long it's been since we've all had to protect our immune systems. Did anyone else have the Johnson and Johnson vaccine and their legs, like they woke up convulsing, and it was like their legs so bad, and as I did, then when I actually got COVID, I knew I had COVID. It just felt like a different type of sickness. It wasn't sickness. It didn't feel like sickness. It felt like a chemical attack. Like it felt like an attack. And At first, I just felt a little sick. The first symptom I had was my legs felt like they were broken. I couldn't walk. They hurt so bad. The muscles in my legs hurt so bad. I couldn't walk. I was crying in pain. And that was so bizarre for me because I have a high pain tolerance. It was the first time I was like, "Ooh, this hurts." I actually went to go get help, and I normally don't. So it was really bad. Then, funny enough, I prayed and I was like, "God, please take this pain away." And immediately, the pain went away. That was the first time I had COVID. And since, all this too happening with all the COVID and stuff, my body's been having this problem with the inflammation just being so bad. I mean, when I got pregnant, I'm going to tell you, my test result I've gotten in December, I got all the possible blood work you can get done. I've got all the testing done. I went to everyone. Your primary, we get all the blood testing done, down to like the GI, to like the parasites and everything, to the, obviously scalp and the derm. And I had to do the cancer, and I had to do the celiac with the GI, and all the autoimmune stuff, and all the chronic illnesses, right? And like I had Lyme disease when I was little, but definitely not what this is from. Now, when they took my blood, I got my results back, and COVID was supposed to be like 0.08. Mine was 25,000. It was supposed to be 0.08 to my memory, but I have a photographic memory, so I feel pretty confident on that. My results were 25,000%. That's a major overload. So no wonder my body's freaking out. It's completely shutting down. No wonder. I probably COVID like 3 times, and I was an event coordinator, so I was around people all the time. So anyway, strangest thing that all of a sudden my body's freaking out. My legs are just like, I'm exhausted. Like I'm just tired. The craziest thing, that my legs get a seriously bad sunburn like that, and I've just never had anything like that before. I don't know. So I don't know how I got on that note. I did go to the beach, and I had a fun time. It was really nice, aside from the sunburn. And then yesterday I went to an art gallery, and it was the Wadsworth Atheneum in Hartford. And I just saw a whole bunch of beautiful pieces. I mean, I felt like I was in my space. I truly, I have been to a couple galleries, never one as big as this. I was in awe. I now regret being an hour late. That was amazing. I love the intention behind each piece. And anything from abstract expressionism, because that's my style, to just the beautiful honorings of Christ. Everything's so intentional. And some things had some crazy energy to them too. Oh, when I was walking through rooms of ancient artifacts, there were some things I was like, okay, that's blessed. And there are other items that I was like, I don't even want to look in your direction. And some rooms I walked through and I was like, I can literally feel the energy. And I could match the energy and then put two and two and then be like, yeah, like but that's also a gift that I have, is discernment. And I felt an energy, and I know things about it, even if it's like names or facts or dates. Things sometimes come to me and I can just understand things. Not always, but with proper intention and under just the Lord's blessing and intention. I do have that gift of discernment, and it's so unique being drawn to inanimate objects that have lives of their own. It feels like more lifelike than some humans. I walked into the American Revolution room. It's like dated back in 1800. And I walked into the room and I go, oh, there's death in here. And then I smelt it and I smelt this smell. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, that's the smell of death. Like I have all, like, I've smelled that smell before. I never put two and two together. I was like, that's that smell. The smell that something's sitting. And I knew in that room because something was so heavy. And usually I can feel it. And if I can feel an energy, I can point out to you exactly where it is. I've done it in boxes, like in a room where I'm like, there's something, and I've had to go through boxes where I'm like, it's in this one corner in this box, and it has been. And it's an object I've never even seen before, but I'm like, yep. So I'm in this room, and I walk in, and I feel it, and I smell it, and then I'm like, okay, what is it? I'm like, where's Waldo? And I figure out, um, there are two objects that didn't, I didn't, I didn't work with. I didn't like them. But that mirror, it was in the mirror and the fireplace. It was like in the woodwork between the two on the left hand side. But if you're in the fireplace, the right hand side, you're looking at it left. But it was in there. It was in the mirror. It was also on the little cabinetry that's like sitting on the mantle. There's another little like box thing to the side. Those two had weaker energies, but they were still like, no go. Anyway, such a lovely place, that museum. Man, yeah, such great works of art, such great people. Um, I mean, it's huge. And yeah, great energy to kind of explore. Um, and ooh, there's a lot to learn about, so I think I might try to go back and just learn. And I mean, a lot of historical pieces and a lot of things just related to Christ. And I, I just, I love that. That was so beautiful. This has maybe nothing to do about my goals, but let's tie it in. Um, yeah, I've been trying to do more things for myself because life is not a to-do list. And I lived 25 years of my life as a robot, thinking I had to do, and get everything done perfectly. I thought, I remember as a young kid, as 7 or 8, however young I was, I remember exactly where on the road I was, and getting a little disappointed, thinking about a mistake I had made, and getting a little disappointed because my entire life I've always wanted to be a perfect human being. That's not possible. And yeah, right, like, sorry, I'm talking to myself in my head also. And I remember hearing the voice of God telling me, you've already made mistakes. Do not try to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. That's the point. Learning is the point. If I were already perfect, I wouldn't have to come here and explore things and learn and fuck around, you find out, you know? I had a wonderful time at the gallery. Yeah. I didn't talk to a single person. I did in passing. I had many conversations, but I didn't need to go with anyone to have a good time, to be respected. I never know if this is a good or bad thing. So you tell me if you have, had this kind of experience too. And I often had this experience. I feel like when I walk, either up to people or how I'm a storyteller. I feel like people's body language kind of changes a little bit, like very like welcoming, but more formal. And I know that I'm naturally a formal person. It's just who I am. It's the I prefer to be selective about my word choice, and I like the clean aesthetic. I just like how it feels, and I like quality over quantity. So naturally, that is quite formal and not typical for the modern age. So I do feel perhaps that could be it. But I do wonder because back when I had my long hair, and still now, I feel like people just like stare at me. They just look at me. And I'm like, I don't know. Because I also do that to people, but I'm like, I'm reading you. I'm like, I'm picking up on your energy. And I'm like, do I give off energy? Like, do I have a lot? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys. You guys tell me. You tell me. I don't know. If you don't know, go to go to my YouTube, go to my Instagram page. I'm asking you guys for feedback. You can rank me publicly and I will say thank you. That's just what we're doing here. All right. Goals. We're setting some goals. I have not told you one of my goals yet, but I've told you a bunch of stories about myself. All right. Well, one of those goals is going to be to go out and keep doing things. Thumbs up. I go out, do things. No, I've been meaning to film this episode for a while and I hadn't because I'm an avoidant by nature as I was raised by two, but I'm also quite anxious. So I'm avoidant because I'm anxious. I have so many problems and that's what I'm working on. So my goal is not to hesitate and to do more things that are worth my time, not sitting around because I don't know what to do, but leaping into something because I want to. It's not what if, it's even if. What if this doesn't play out the way I want it to? Even if it doesn't, I still had that experience and had the butterfly effect. What if my outfit isn't socially appropriate and I'm the only person wearing jeans and like I had like a little black cardigan top on? I changed out of a dress because my sunburn, I had, it's literally the only thing that I could think of that I want to wear that was working for my body and the environment and everything. It's just that I picked to wear. And I also hate jeans. I don't like jeans. I'm the only person wearing jeans. I actually, a few times, thought about it and consciously chose not to feel weird. Emotions are fake. These are our goals. My goals are to control my emotions. Why? Because I have wicked high cortisol. My fight or flight is through the roof. So yeah, that's my goal. Is same thing for the past 7 months. To just live life and be happy. I said. All right, one last thing before we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the beauty in all of this. Why we even get to have this conversation. Why we're even all brought here to the table. It's like a little team huddle right now. Um, let's think about it. There's a reason why you hit play. There's a reason why I sat down and recorded, even though I'm hesitant to. There's a reason why you got almost 40 minutes into this. It's all for the good of God. Romans 8:28. God works for the good of those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. I've been learning part of my purpose here is not to take life for granted. It is to learn to live it. that doesn't just mean doing things. That means feeling things and exploring things. So these podcast episodes, although I'm a talker, if you know me, you know I won't talk until I've known you for probably about 3 years. Oh my word. It's so funny because when people in my real life see my social media, I wonder, I wonder what they think because like I run in places and I run out. I'm, I keep to myself. I'm a quiet little bee. Unless I'm loud, then I am crazy and on top of the refrigerator. If you know, you know. All right, that actually sounds kind of like, Dopey the Elf type stuff. On top of the counter. We'll take it down a notch. On top of the deck wall, deck rail, with 4 other people. Anyway, we listen, we don't judge. We are talking about the Lord our God right now. And so I'm saying you have to take your brain, you have to take your thoughts captive. You gotta take your thoughts captive, man. My brain just goes all over the place. I wrote down notes before doing this, so I'm going to read off what I wrote. I wrote, under God, there's freedom, free will, and the free gift of salvation through faith by grace. Oh, that definitely makes sense. Now that I'm reading that, I see there's a lot of spiritual attacks to get me to not say that. But let me tell you all, God is so good, and His mighty spirit prevails. So we give Him all the glory. We invest all of our time and our energy into Him. We do things to glorify Him and, yeah, kind of just live in His love and rest with Him, rest in His palm, listen to Him, let Him make the decisions. Lately, I've been planning to do things and then also not because I kind of just want to rest. And it's really hard to rest and not be distracted, especially in this day and age. I can't say it enough, folks, but Jesus is coming back real soon. Look around us. Look at the world we live in. Like, the pages of the Bible are literally flying off. So let's welcome back our one true King. Here's our verse of the day. It's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son, that whosoever believe in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Love that. Well, faith plus grace equals eternity in our happy little heaven. Yeah. Man, what? What? If you have a hesitation towards turning to Christ, I am more than happy to chat with you about it because I feel like a lot of people have the same problem where they're like, it's uncomfortable. They're like, now if you can, I'm going to tell you, conviction is uncomfortable. You are dang right it is. I, I've known God my whole life. Then I gave my life to Him when I was, I've been saved since I was like 6 or 7. But as a child does, they push back and they run away. And then I came back when I was about 16. I'd never really left, but I had seen when I was 16. And that's also when I started to enmesh in the church. I guess I want to say more that I had enmeshed with the church at that age. I don't know where I was going with that. That's a little bit about me. Yeah. Yeah. yeah, I have no idea. Um, but that is okay. And I think that just means it's time for us to wrap up here. Um, yeah, use your free will with intention. Um, do we have a prompt to send us on our way? Oof. Yeah, what? I'm gonna give you guys some homework. Definitely. Um, pick one day. Pick one day. I don't care which day it is. You can do it every single day of the week. I just think that's an unreasonable ask. Pick one day to do it. Pick today or right now or yesterday if you want. Write down 3 good things about the day, but I want you to write what it was that was good, the like physical being of it, that was a good thing, why it was a good thing for your life as a whole, and why it was a good thing for your soul. So again, we're going to write down, I know this is a lot, so it's like 9 points altogether, we got this. You cannot use ChatGPT for it because he does not have the answer. And yes, I believe it's a he. We're going to pick out one day of the week, just pick one day, 3 good things about that day. And then with each thing that's good, we're going to do the physical matter, why it's good, just what it was that you like. We're going to do how it affected your life, like why it was good to affect, like there was a good effect on your life, you know what I'm saying? And how it affected your soul, your feelings, your emotions, kind of perspective, your wants, drives, anything. So, well, now that we started, I don't really want to get off, but it's been almost an hour. I mean, it's been a little over 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long, especially with your attention spans. And I also have nothing else to add, but I kind of just don't want to hop off. So, I'll probably see you guys soon then. Like this, comment, rate it, reach out to me. Let's connect. Um, yeah, my YouTube, I would love for you guys to connect with me and somehow just let me know your thoughts. My YouTube is at Classic Court, so ClassicCourt. My Instagram is at Classic Courtney. So ClassicCourtney. You can visit my website, www.courtneyandrews.com, Courtneyandgers. Or you can email me, courtneyandrews@gmail.com. All right. Well, it's been really fun talking with you guys, and I will see you very soon. Love you. Bye.